Hello, and thank you for your interest in our Infectious Disease Fellowship Training Program at the University of Washington. My name is Jim Boonyaratanakornkit. I'm an infectious disease specialist for the Fred Hutchinson Cancer Center and University of Washington. I'm also the lead for the microbiology curriculum for the School of Medicine in Seattle. In this short video, I wanted to provide you with an overview of some potential teaching opportunities that you might encounter as a fellow here. I've organized this talk by fellowship year. In your first year, as part of a consulting service, the education of primary teams will occur pretty much on a daily basis as part of clinical service. It is possible that you could even be selected by one of the primary teams as a consultant of the month if you've done a good job teaching and if the primary teams decide to continue to award this. In fact, I was one of the recipients of this award during my first year of fellowship here. You and the attending will also provide supervision for medical students and residents rotating on the general infectious disease services at the University of Washington, Harborview Medical Center, and the VA. And you will present interesting, informative, and teaching cases at the citywide clinical case conference that is open to infectious disease providers and trainees throughout Seattle. During your second year, you will have the opportunity to teach as a small group leader for the School of Medicine's core microbiology and immunology curriculum, which is called Infections and Immunity. You can participate and present in the HIV journal clubs, the internal medicine morning reports, and the internal medicine noon conferences by invitation. And depending on your faculty member, your faculty mentor, and your career pathway, you can also engage in project-specific teaching that involves curriculum development or quality improvement. And in your third year and beyond, you can become more deeply involved with the School of Medicine as a large group leader and help with curriculum development for the Infections and Immunity block. You can also now lead presentations for the Infectious Disease Board Review for fellows and faculty. This is all part of the model of see one, do one, teach one. Let's take a step back and talk more about the medical school teaching opportunities. This is near and dear to my heart as the Seattle lead for the School of Medicine currently. As I mentioned, the core microbiology and immunology curriculum for the School of Medicine here is called Infections and Immunity. This is one of 9 blocks in the foundations phase curriculum for first and second year medical students. And it involves a large catchment area with faculty and students throughout the WWAMI region, including Washington, Wyoming, Alaska, Montana, and Idaho. And these are some of the teaching venues. They include small groups, which consist of approximately 25 students per room, and large groups with up to 150 students in the room. And we also have a microbiology lab where students can get hands-on experience. As an example, we go through herpes viruses, which is a large group session which I developed. And we have a really fun session called Parasite Jeopardy, which has been taught by the legendary Paul Pottinger over the last few years. And we are constantly refining and developing new sessions. For instance, after the COVID-19 pandemic, a former fellow, Helen Stankiewicz-Karita, and good friend of mine, we developed a large group session to discuss health inequities in infectious diseases. In general, this course has a cyclical timeline with curriculum development in the summer, 6 weeks of instruction in the fall, and then reviewing lessons learned and feedback in the winter, and repeating this every year. These are some members of our team that spans over 5 states. Well, it spans 5 states. And we have block leads for the entire region, site leads, small group leaders, invited lecturers, microbiology lab faculty, administrative staff, a technology team, an exam preparation team, graduate student assistants, usually from the medical scientist training program, and potentially you. And we are always on the lookout for feedback to improve the course, but I wanted to share some of the positive feedback from students that really help make this experience truly rewarding. Students have said, quote, "I really appreciate the small groups because they help me review the information and provide context with doctors who actually see and treat infections we're learning about. Another quote, "The small group sessions helped me review and solidify my knowledge. The organization of the block was fantastic, and thank you for caring so much about student education and learning." As you can see, students have really enjoyed working with our faculty, especially in the small group setting. And potentially there's more. Depending on the faculty mentor that you work with during your fellowship, you could have the opportunity to help further curriculum development at the local, state, and federal levels in epidemiology, sexually transmitted infections, HIV, and hepatitis C. And so to summarize, I hope that I've given you a sense of teaching opportunities that could be available to you during your fellowship at the University of Washington. These are just some examples. There's more out there if you look for them, and they can be customized to your pathway of interest. Thanks for listening, and good luck, and happy teaching.